Folks, just a short video. Um, to play a little bit of this. So, hi and nine. God bless you, bro. I'm really still recovering from Speaker's Corner. I went out to visit Russell today. He's got cancer, and I did a little bit of street preaching. I'm just out of it, but I couldn't resist doing a short video on Mohammed Hijab. And Mohammed Hijab is a well-known speaker uh, and YouTuber, Muslim YouTuber, Muslim apologist, and I'll just play a little bit about this about Mohammed Hijab. He took Douglas Murray to court as he said that Douglas Murray defamed him, which was not true. And the judge reportedly said that Mohammed Hijab was a liar, and Douglas Murray won the court case. So we'll just hear a little bit about it.
Lied on a number of issues throughout the case, such that his evidence was deemed to be worthless. That, again, I think was very fatal to the claimant's case.
And he would often smirk or he would laugh. And at one point, he even yelled at the Spectator's lawyer, saying, "It's an unsalvageable case, Greg." He leant over the side of the stand, and the judge had to say, "That's enough."
And there are many defendants to defamation cases, particularly individuals or freelancers or those that don't have the support of a well-resourced organisation behind them, who just cannot take that risk.
Hello and welcome to Coffee House Shots. I'm Michael Simmons, and today I'm joined by The Spectator's Max Jeffrey and Alex Wilson, who is a partner at the legal firm RPC and The Spectator's main lawyer. Now, yesterday, a judgment was handed down in the High Court that ruled that The Spectator and our columnist Douglas Murray had won a defamation case that had been brought by the YouTuber Mohammed Hijab. Now, Max, you've been following this for The Spectator, since this began 3 years ago. Why were we taken to court?
So this was about an article that Douglas Murray wrote for The Spectator in the issue of the 24th of September 2022. And this is a long time ago, so viewers might not remember, but this was around the time that there was some unrest going on in Leicester, largely between Hindus and Muslims. And Douglas had written about this unrest in his weekly column that he does for The Spectator, and then it had referenced Mohammed Hijab, the YouTuber, going to Leicester and speaking to a crowd of mostly masked Muslim men.
Let me tell you something. All due respect, actually no due respect, yeah? If they believe in reincarnation, what a humiliation and pathetic thing for them to be reincarnated into some pathetic, weak, cowardly people like that. I'd rather be an animal.
In his column, Douglas said that Mohammed Hijab was referring to Hindu people and ridiculing them. Mohammed Hijab said that he was referring to Hindutva, which is an extremist ethno-nationalist group of Hindus, he would say. And so Mohammed Hijab sued Douglas and The Spectator for defamation, and this has taken years and years to get to court, but it finally did, and the judgment was given yesterday saying that The Spectator had won.
And Alex, well, firstly, thank you for winning the case for us. It's good to have you on the podcast because it means you can do a sort of legal check while we record. But you put the case together. You were in court. Can you take us through the judgment? What did we win on?
Yeah, of course. Thanks very much. And I should say I was part of a large team. Obviously, everyone contributed very well, in particular our great barrister, Greg Callis, who presented the case in court. Well, the most straightforward defence to any defamation action is truth. And that was the main defence that we relied on in the case. And it was one that was successful. The Spectator and Douglas argued that notwithstanding the fact that the claimant may have believed or intended to be referring to the Hindutva, by criticizing the other people out on the street who plainly were majority Hindu, and ridiculing them by reference to a central belief in all of Hinduism, i.e. reincarnation. He was accordingly ridiculing Hindus, and that it was the substantial truth of what Douglas had said and the sting of the defamatory statement was found to be substantially true. Although the judge actually didn't really even need to necessarily determine the truth defense, because he actually also found that the claimant's case would have failed at the first hurdle. To bring a claim in defamation in England and Wales, you need to show that a statement has caused or is likely to cause serious harm to your reputation. That's a law that's been in place since around 2013. There's been quite a lot of legal wrangling over the years as to exactly what that means, but a claimant generally now does need to demonstrate and persuade the court by way of evidence that serious harm has been caused to his reputation. And the court dismissed that aspect of the case, of Hijab's case as well. He found that the article hadn't caused serious harm to his reputation, nor was it likely to cause serious harm to his reputation. There were a number of reasons for that. One reason being the actual video of the claimant's speech in Leicester, which he himself uploaded to YouTube to his many millions of followers, was just as likely to be as reputationally damaging as what Douglas said about it. He also found the claimant's case on the supposed business opportunities that he had lost out on to have the appearance of being contrived, concocted, implausible. He found that, where in circumstances such as this, had the claimant actually suffered serious harm to his reputation, one would have expected him to be able to demonstrate that by way of evidence. And there was no evidence. There was no evidence of financial losses, no evidence of decreases in social media followers, etc. So the judge found that the case hadn't been made out. And generally, in assessing all of the evidence for the purposes of serious harm and truth, the judge found that the claimant was not a credible witness. He found that he'd repeatedly lied on a number of issues throughout the case, such that his evidence was deemed to be worthless. That, again, I think was fairly fatal to the claimant's case.
Were you surprised by, how strong the judgment was? I mean, the judge, as you just said, called him a liar.
It's a very emphatic judgment, and it's a great success for the Spectator and Douglas. And it's not all that common to get such resounding successes for media defendants in libel cases. And as the strength of the judgment does obscure the fact that there are obviously risks along the way.
Now, I don't relish saying this video. I don't relish of the fall of someone, either my enemies. I'm quite a noble character in that way. When King Saul had been killed, David was not happy about it, even when he was killed. And so I'm not dancing and rejoicing at the fall of Mohammed Hijab, but I do want to say a few things. I met Mohammed Hijab many, many years ago. I debated him, and to be honest, I liked him. He was friendly to me. We had a nice debate. I remember Bob came in and helped with that debate years and years ago. And Mohammed Hijab was quite friendly, and he was just developing his career as an apologist at Speaker's Corner. However, over the years, as he and Ali Dawah got more famous, they set up these YouTube channels, and they developed a YouTube career and persona. They got finance and support. I don't know where they got the finance from. Don't know where they got the support from, but they got the finances. You never know. But there's a lot of these rich oil people that do support and finance these Dawah teams. So he became famous. He became wealthy. He seemed to have quite a bit of money. Was able to meet Jordan Peterson and other well-known people. Appear on Piers Morgan show. As he rose to the top, something very sinister happened to him, and he became proud. And he became he began to listen to his own how can I say, his own fan base. He began to listen to it about himself and have an exalted view of himself. This exalted view of himself made him feel he was untouchable, made him feel he could bully people. A number of times he called for violence on the streets. We've seen that, like with the Hindu riots in Leicester a few years ago. There was some chap who was, I think, a Muslim, but not anti-Israel. He was inciting people to be. I have to be careful with my words, but you know what I mean. He was inciting people to do something, and something did happen. Men stormed that Muslim's house. Islamic extremists stormed that Muslim's house, and it was not a pretty sight. Just because this Muslim didn't agree with Hamas and whatever you. And so he became proud. He became very untouchable, thinking he was untouchable. And then, for some reason, he wanted to take Douglas Murray to court for so-called defaming him. Why did he do that? Well, Mohammed Hijab is a publicist. He's a narcissist, and amen. Remember September 13th, folks. He's a publicist, so he thought it would be good for his career to take on Douglas Murray, and it's backfired spectacular, where even the judge has accused him of being a liar, which I think is the end of Mohammed Hijab. I don't think there's any way back for him. I think his career is over. To have a High Court judge say you're a liar, I think that nobody's going to take him seriously as an apologist. Iron Sage, light work, check my playlist, 9. God bless you all. So nobody's going to take him seriously. And then to add to that, he's got a major controversy that's getting stronger and worse, where he has allegedly been accused of marrying a woman behind his wife's back, and this has backfired spectacular, and has caused massive controversy because this Muslim lady came out and said she was misled, and she's provided all the evidence, and his group doctored false AI information as if it was her, and they've been thoroughly discredited and thoroughly exposed from Ali Dawah to Hashim. It's been a big catastrophe for the Dawah people and the Dawah teams. So one of their main champions has fallen. But now I want to get to my main point. And I saw this with Bob the Builder as well. My main point is beware of pride. Just because you become famous from Speaker's Corner and you become famous on YouTube, it doesn't make you untouchable. You're just a human being like everybody else. Yeah, it's a good point. The thing is pride. When you think you're famous and you're at the top of the tree, you think you're untouchable. And we heard the testimony of this lawyer saying how he was gun ho and intimidating even in the courts, you know. And that's how him and his Dawah gang have reacted to the woman that he married and then divorced her. and the woman that he allegedly is not told, he didn't tell his wife about, is pride. And I told you that I've had a bit of beef over the years with Bob the Builder, because I I do believe when he's talking about theology, he should let us know where he's got his theology from. Because people think he's evangelical, but he uses Catholic and Eastern Orthodox theology. So I've had a bit of beef about that, and also about the ecumenical issue, because ecumenicalism, if you type in ecumenicalism, you've got the Mormons, you've got people who hug trees in the ecumenical movement. So it's not really a good place to be. In the ecumenical World Council of Churches is a bad place to be. So I thought I'd show some kindness to Bob, and try and build a bridge. And I took a book to him on Sunday on the Hadiths, and I waited for him to finish his speech. I was very kind to him. I went up to him and I gave the book, but all the time he couldn't look at me. He couldn't even say my name. He did say thank you, but he couldn't say my name. It was like he didn't know me. And I thought, Bob, you need to be humble, bro, just because you're famous. Because he started the same time as me. Yeah, I think uh, at the moment they can't get the finances. Uh, so anyhow, yeah, Spurgeon College can't get the finances. So beware of pride. Beware of pride, because if you're proud and you think you're something, then God can soon make you nothing. You know, and that's what has happened to Mohammed Hijab. And now his career is in tatters, because nobody's going to respect him. And I know the brother says that, the Muslims thinks he's a hero, but uh, who's going to really respect him? Like in the debate scene, in the academic scene, he's discredited himself as a liar. He's a bone-faced liar, and the judge said it to his face. What he'll do is he'll pivot and say, "Oh, the judge was a Zionist," and they'll blame it on Zionism or something like that to try and get out of it. The judge is against Free Palestine or something like that. The Spectator is against Free Palestine or something like that, just to get out of it. So that's it. I feel really tired after Speaker's Corner. I just need to spend time with the Lord, studying His Word. I'll try and do some podcasts in the next day or two. Got quite a lot of things I need to say. I know that Mike's dying to say something, but I'll leave it at that. So Mohammed Hijab has fallen from a great height, and beware that you don't become too proud. Doesn't matter how famous you are, be humble. Just be humble, because we come from nothing and we are nothing, and we're only what we are by the grace of God. So God bless you. Take care, Sage. Take care, Nine. Take care. Check my playlist, Light Week, and everybody else. Take care and God bless you. Bye. Bye. I'll put a link to various information about Mohammed Hijab. So take care and God bless.